Greetings, Black Maps and Maps to Markets users. It is late in August of 2016. This video is using Black Maps 2.3.11. And today I want to address Tim. I got some questions here. Warning, total noob. Hey, that's alright. Obviously, we're all noobs at something in the beginning, so that's fine. That's why we make these videos. And the videos on Ben's channel, yes, they are pretty dated now. The layout has changed, that's true. And I should probably make a video explaining that at some point. But for now, I'm just going to go by these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On startup, BM knows I'm in my current city, okay, but when I enter another city to point out for searching, it doesn't always take. So I want to make sure that's working. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Recently, Google Maps made it so we can't load our map, which is behind this box here. We're pulling in their JavaScript APIs to draw the map and all that. So when it comes from localhost or an IP they haven't served before, you have to have an API key, and it's free to get. However, Black Maps comes with one pre-installed, but relying on that pre-installed key could be problematic later on. So it's better to get your own private key to ensure your maps will always work. That is not an issue right now. I'm bringing this up so just in case. All right, so let's move on. All right, so first I'm going to yes, I live in Albuquerque. My name is Lawrence. Let's see, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go today? We'll stay in the U.S. How about Rochester? Am I spelling that right? New York. Go to location. Okay, so it takes a little about a second there. Okay, so in Rochester, now we've established, as long as you put in the town and it's spelled correctly, comma separated with New York, possibly, or you could put USA in there and it would probably find this Rochester. But if you don't put a state, it's just going to go to the first one in the list array that Google returns. So now that we're in Rochester, all right, place type seems rather outdated. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know why Google Maps is like this, but I'm gonna hop over here, and this is their current page as of what is today, 22nd of August. Accounting, yes, these are all broad. Some of them, a lot of these are deprecated. Finance, that means they're going to be removed in 2017 at some point. So this list is even going to get smaller. So let's not focus on the place types too much right now, because when we have establishment, that's pretty much a catch-all. Every business in the places details API is listed as an establishment. So just think of that as your catch-all. Say I want to look for let's see, I don't want to step on anyone's other searches. Okay, so the fall is coming up. what do people need in the fall? I'm going to say you want to, okay, this is a silly example, but say you want to, Halloween's coming up in a few months and you want to target every costume shop in the country. Well, as of this version, you have to go state by state. But say I want to, let's draw my box. Say I want to expand it out a little. Get all of Rochester there. Okay. So I'm just going to leave this establish. It meant do costume. I'm just going to use that keyword. It's going to bring up, it might bring up a few things unrelated to what I want. But in a minute, that's why we can go over here and hide selected. We can get rid of those, okay? So let's try this search and see if anything happens. In this case, we're going to search area. Since we drew our own box, we didn't select a city. Well, I'll get into that in another video. So let's just try this for now. Costume, establishment, any places, details that have the word costume in it inside this box. Let's go ahead and search for that. So the software breaks down that rectangle into smaller search grids because Google Maps does not like large search grids. It's not designed for that. If you're driving around and you have an Android phone, so we're getting no results found down here. Current status. So we found one, food and clothes. Oh, we found a few more. Okay, so this isn't a bad, just for this little area. So it created a queue of search rectangles, and it's going to go through each one. Let's let it finish. Anyway, as I was saying, when you're driving and using your Android phone, sometimes I do locate nearest restaurant, Italian restaurant or something. So it wants vicinity. When you start making larger rectangles, we try to break them down so Google will get the most results. So this looks about right. Even in Albuquerque we have Party Cities, Spirit Halloween. Okay, and this is a silly example, admittedly. So I'm going to refresh this list, and you can see from here on up we've got our places that sell costumes for Halloween. Now to expand this to the entire state of New York, we would jump. Okay, so before I do that, what's happening here? Let's check business node. Okay, so we've already scraped those. What is it? What did we end up with? 1, 2, 3, 10 results. So we've already done the money node scraping. We have all the business intelligence we can for that area. But say you want to do the entire state, you would go to New York, let the cities load, and you can multi-select cities. Okay, you hold down control, boom, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or excuse me. So now we're going to search this grouping of cities. Okay, so now since I'm using the rectangles, which are just basically broken down grids of longitudes and latitudes, so I'm going to search 8 cities. We'll see if we get anything else for costume. And this video is already running long, so that was just a quick, and I'm getting a bunch of no results found. Okay, we found a few more over here. But look, I'm only doing what, 5% of the towns here. All right, let's get back to Tim's question. Sorry, this is unrehearsed. So I enter. Okay, so that's kind of addressing your number 2 there, Tim. The enter. Okay, the draw box I've done. That was what 2.3.11 just fixed. Okay, so number 4. I try to search on plumber with keyword toilet. That seems pretty common, right? 10-mile radius, click search cities and nothing. Okay, so that is what is a little bit confusing. You've got search area, search 8 selected rectangles. When you draw your own box, just use that search area. When you're doing it from here, use the search 8 selected rectangles. So I want to go back to Rochester. So we're going to go down here and do Rochester. This video is going long. So Rochester, where are you? ROC, there we go. Back in Rochester. Okay. And so we have plumber, and you want to search the keyword toilet. I don't see that as being, you're going to have to play around with your keywords as well. Let's see what happens when we just do. And if you select one city, you can also search area with the smaller grids. So point of interest, best rentals has toilet. Yeah, I'm afraid that that's not gonna. So you want to step back and you want to think of who deals with toilets. Porta potty, plumber, obviously. So that keyword, we're gonna nix that. What you want to do, if you're worried about too many results from plumber, let's look at plumber. So even though this is still searching, I entered plumber, no keyword. I just want every result in this grid that has place ID type of at least plumber in it. Let's just do that for now. And I imagine this is going to be quite okay. So from this point, rotor rooter toilet. So okay, so now we're getting quite a few hits. So it's going to break down the box. We've hit 60. That's their threshold. So we're going to do some research. Searching. And keep scanning these until we run out of results. So at this point, let's hop over to view and export. Okay, so this hasn't pulled the stage 2 data yet. It's just pulled each of these. This one has. This one, you can double click on it. We can look at their, so services. You can look at their website straight through black maps. This is a really cool feature that Ben did. I love this. So it looks like HVAC would be a very good keyword under establishment, because I don't know if there's a more broad term for toilet, but if there is, try that under establishment. Okay, let me refresh these, and you can see my places details have filled in. Now the stage 3 money node business intelligence is where the headless browser comes in. We're scraping as long as we get a URL here, then we can proceed on to stage 3, which is money node. I'm just saying, going over this so you guys kind of know the flow of what's happening here. We've got stage 1. Stage 2 is gathering the places data, which is the rest of the data from Google, and stage 3 is proceeding beyond Google. So we're still okay. So we found, how many did we find? New details, new leads, 167 in this little area for plumber. And at that point, you can go through them. But all of these have to do with toilets. Maybe not this one. Maybe so. I'm not sure. Anyways, so I hope that helps at least a little bit with your questions, Tim. One last thing. To get my places details, there's 2 ways we can go about that, okay? One is through public proxies or private proxies. Public proxies provided by the public. You don't know what you're getting, but it probably sucks. That proxy is going to be slow because a million other programs are grabbing the same proxies. If you have money for private proxies for Google, then use it. You're going to do better. But the best solution, even over private proxies, is getting a Google Web Places API key. This is different from the Google Maps API key. What this does is it lets you connect directly to Google and pull that data, so we really don't scrape it. We're just requesting it. It's compact, and we can pull the data from that. So to get that, go to my YouTube channel right here, and it's called Create Google Places Details Web API Key and Enable Billing. Now that enable billing doesn't really bill you. They want to verify that you're a real person. You can read all about it in this video, but since this video exists, that's as much as I'm doing on it now. Because we need to wrap this up as we get close to 20 minutes of me babbling, which I'm sure you guys hate. Alright, Tim, so here's your first video. I hope this helps other people with these same questions. If there's something that just you're shaking your head at, you have no idea what's going on, either reply in here or contact me. Ping me, Maps to Apps support on Skype. I'm not always working on Maps to Apps, or Black Maps to Apps is the engine that runs Black Maps / Maps to Markets. I always keep this open on my development computer. If I'm working on another project, it may take me a while to get back to, but that is always there for you, as well as this forum here or the ticket system. So happy scraping. I hope this has taught a few people a few things, and we'll see you on the flip side with the next video. Alright, take care all.